Night of Champions takes place this Saturday in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia at Kingdom Arena. Currently, we have 6 matches, which is a departure from the classic Paul Levesque 5-match special, which is what we usually get for PLE, so we got an extra match this time. I wonder if that's just to cover for one match that's going to be very short. And I assume the match that will not last long is the King of the Ring Finals, which is supposedly going to open the show. It's Jey Uso against Oba Femi. Look, I think everyone wants Oba Femi to win. I want Oba to win. But there's something Oba has to go up against that's much more dangerous than Brock Lesnar in WWE, and that's nepotism. And because of that, I do think Jey Uso is going to win. They've been building to Jade going after Cody. They set up the thing with Roman confronting Cody. They're going to have Jade challenge Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. I think that's the most likely scenario right now. And I think Jade's going to win. He's not going to win clean. He's not going to just pin Oba Femi with like an Uso splash or tap him out like he did Gunther at last year's WrestleMania. No. Brock's going to interfere. He's going to get the big payday. He's going to come and attack Oba Femi, hit a whole bunch of F5s, and then Jey Uso will top it off with an Uso splash and defeat Oba Femi. I'm predicting Jey Uso to win the 2026 King of the Ring. Now, for the Queen of the Ring finals, both the King and Queen of the Rings will be aired live on the first hour, and that will air on ESPN. I'll be watching on Netflix in Canada, but this match we have the finals, which is Liv Morgan against Io Sky. This is, I think, the toughest match to predict. I think this really could go either way. I wouldn't be too upset who wins this because I do like Liv and I do like Io. Look, they can have Liv go after Rhea, try to unify the belt. She beat Rhea 2 years ago at SummerSlam. Then, of course, they can have Io win, and I think what everyone wants is Io and Rhea because they just have amazing chemistry. Remember last year's Evolution show? That incredible main event. So, there's a story to be told either way with Rhea. Unless Rhea, hopefully she's still champion by then because I don't know what's going on with her knee. But, Rhea and Io and Rhea and Liv, those are two really good rivalries. She has history with both of them, Rhea does. So I wouldn't mind either one. But I do think Liv's going to win. I think Liv will win. I think eventually Roxanne's going to turn, but I don't think that's going to happen until she wins Money in the Bank in October. And I think Liv's going to beat Io here, and I think she'll probably go to challenge Rhea at SummerSlam if Rhea's healthy. But I don't see Io Sky winning Queen of the Ring. I do believe your 2026 Queen of the Ring will be Liv Morgan. And I think that's the first time ever anyone has won the Royal Rumble and Queen of the Ring. Certainly for that. I'm not sure if there's any man who's won the Rumble and the King of the Ring in the same year. So Liv is making history, winning 2 major contenderships. The big, you win the Rumble to go to WrestleMania, you win the Queen of the Ring or King of the Ring to go to SummerSlam. So, big year for Liv if she wins this, and I do think she will. Next, we have the United States Championship, Trick Williams against Ricky Saints. I don't care about this match. I think Trick's going to win. Not much to say here. I wonder if Lil Yachty makes the trip. That's the one thing I'm more interested in seeing into this match because it doesn't mean much. I think just Trick's going to win. I don't see much in Ricky Saints right now. Next, we go to the Women's United States Championship. Tiffany Stratton defending against Jade Cargill. This is a tough match to predict because I really can see this going either way. I think both of the women matches on this show are the 2 toughest matches to predict because, again, I can see them keeping the belt on Tiffany, especially with her new alliance with Chelsea Green. She was the former Women's United States Championship, and she might want it back. Maybe that's why she's friends with Tiffany. Or they could be doing something, which I hope they do, is have Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green pursue the women's tag team titles, which I think they might do. I think they might be trying to redo what they did with Charlotte and Alexa last year. So I think Tiffany and Chelsea might be a tag team, and I think it makes sense for Jade to win because we know now it's Jade and Charlotte at SummerSlam. That's going to happen. That match is basically confirmed with what happened on last SmackDown with Jade attacking Charlotte's knee. And, people think Charlotte's going to cost Jade this match. I don't think she should do that. I don't think it makes sense in storyline because Charlotte just got her knee hurt. Jade beat up Charlotte's knee. She attacked the injured, the knee that Charlotte tore really bad a year and a half ago. It doesn't make sense for Charlotte to be back, especially making such a long trip. It doesn't make sense. I think it makes sense for her to be out for a while, then come back and Charlotte challenge Jade for the Women's United States Championship and get revenge at SummerSlam. I think that's where we're heading. And I think for Charlotte to cost Jade again, I mean, she already did that to her at the Clash and Early show when she cost her against Rhea. And now Jade's already lost to Rhea before that, so that'll be 3 straight PLE losses. And they like to protect Jade. She lost to Tiffany at last year's SummerSlam. I think she should have won. I think Jade's going to win this match and become the new Women's United States Champion. Next, we go to a steel cage match, Seth Rollins and Bron Breakker. Should be a good match. They had a really good match on Raw. And I also really liked their match at Backlash. The Raw match was the night after the Clash in Italy show. So Braun won at Backlash, Seth won on the Raw. And I think this is the blow-off match of the trilogy. It's a steel cage. You know, here's the thing. I already predicted Femi to lose because he's facing Brock Lesnar. I think Jey Uso is going to win King of the Ring. And I think he'll challenge Cody Rhodes likely or Sami Zayn, whoever wins that match. The issue is, well, where does that leave Roman? Who's he going to face? And I think it's pretty obvious the way they've been building it up. It's going to be Seth Rollins. And if Seth's going to challenge Roman at SummerSlam, which I believe he will, he's not going to lose this match, and I believe he'll win. I think it's time for Bron Breakker to leave division after this. They lost the tag team titles. He should be done with Austin Theory. If divisions are going to be Austin Theory, Logan Paul, and Maxine Dupree, that is a step down for Bron Breakker to be involved in, and certainly Paul Heyman to be involved in. I think Braun should be separate from division now, and I think he will, and I think he's going to lose that match, and it makes sense for him to lose. And for Seth, I think he's challenging Roman at SummerSlam. So I'm predicting Seth Rollins to defeat Bron Breakker, win the feud, win the rubber match, and win the steel cage match. Next, they go to what could be a great match. The Undisputed WWE Championship defended in a triple threat match. Cody Rhodes defends his title against Gunther and Sami Zayn, who of course will be very popular in Saudi Arabia. They could go at Sami, give him the feel-good moment, him winning the title would be great. I don't see it happening. I was thinking Sami is going to win. When they first started this triple threat, I thought, I think Sami's going to win. It's going to be a great moment for him. Now, I don't think so. Certainly, I don't think Gunther is going to win. Gunther, it doesn't make sense for him to win now. They could have had him win at Clash in Italy. It would have made more sense, or even on that SmackDown. Now, I don't see any shot Gunther. I think he's by far the least likely of the three to win this match. I think really Sami's here to take the pin so Gunther doesn't have to. That's what I think that's why he's here. I think Cody Rhodes is winning. I think he's facing Jey Uso at SummerSlam, the worst case scenario for a lot of people. I think Cody Rhodes is going to win. I'm sure the fans won't be happy, but I think that's where we're heading. He's retaining the title and he's going to SummerSlam. So that's Night of Champions this Saturday. Hopefully it's a good show, and we will see who is our kings and queen of the ring. It'll be interesting. It's also kind of weird that it's Night of Champions. Not all the titles were on the line, and I think Night of Champions is now mostly built around the King and Queen of the Ring finals. The issue is it's not called that. I miss the King of the Ring. Why can't they call it show King of the Ring anymore? Or at least King and Queen of the Ring, or just call it King of the Ring. I remember that used to be one of the biggest WWE pay-per-views of the year. It was number 5. It really was. King of the Ring was a big show. And I think definitely something that's helped this show, makes it somewhat more prestigious, is the fact that it leads into SummerSlam. Kind of like how the Rumble leads into WrestleMania. So I am interested in that. And as I said, we'll see who wins the Queen of the Ring, and we will see who is the King of the Ring.